So here we have two types of transistors. One is NPN transistor, and the second one is PNP transistor. So actually, the transistor means okay. Transistor means, so this is derived from the word transfer of resistance. Transfer of resistance. So that means we are going to send a signal. We are going to send a signal from low resistance region to high resistance. So we know this very well. So low resistance region means the PN junction diode is in forward bias, and the PN junction diode is in reverse bias. So in the transistor we have a kind of, it is a kind of PN junction like structure. So where we will send a signal from low resistance to high resistance. So first we will understand the geometry and the construction part of transistor. So basically we will use widely this NPN transistor because in the NPN transistor the majority charge carriers are electrons. The majority charge carriers are N electrons. As they are having high mobility, so that's why NPN transistor is preferred. So generally in the transistor, in any transistor, so we have three regions. So actually every transistor contains three regions. Okay. So whenever we think of a transistor here, so the emitter, base, and as well as collector. So out of all these things, the collector having more area, the collector having more area. So relatively in comparison with emitter and base, we are taking. And of course, so the base is nothing but it is a region which is present between base and emitter. So let us take, I am taking this is the base. So this will be the base and this will be the emitter. This will be the emitter. So actually what is its duty is emitter emits or generates, emits charge carriers. Emits charge carriers. Collector collects the charge carriers. Collects the charge carriers. And the base acts as bridge. It acts as bridge between emitter and as well as collector. So it will transform the charge carriers from emitter to collector. So this is calling large area. This is called as large area dimensionally. So this is having very small area. Out of all these things, we are having very small area, and this is having moderate area. Moderate area. So first we will understand the PNP and NPN transistors, and so later we used to think of their functions. For example, so first I'm taking PNP transistor. For example, this is the symbol of a transistor. This is a symbol of transistor. Suppose I'm taking this is emitter, this is base, and this is collector. Suppose if we have an arrow like this, arrow. So then the arrow is upwards. Suppose if the arrow is upwards, we will take this as PNP transistor. So PNP transistor. So this is P, this is N, and this is P. So why? Because the arrow, this arrow in semiconductor device, everywhere you can see the represents arrow represents conventional current direction. Conventional current direction. Current direction. So P to M. Already in the PN junction diode also we are having arrow. This arrow is nothing but this arrow. Now you can easily understand right now. This is P and this is N. This arrow is nothing but this arrow. Actually PN junction diode ఇలా గీయటంలో ఉద్దేశం ఏంటి అంటే, so this is the arrow. This is the arrow. So this is positive. So the arrow is always from, or simply I'm writing arrow is always from P to N. From P to N we will provide arrow. So now we will consider the NPN. For example, I'm taking a circle. So now I'm taking NPN. So this is emitter and this is base and this is collector. NPN I'm taking. So when we think of NPN, suppose this is N, this is P and this is N. The important condition is in between emitter and base only you need to draw the direction. So in between emitter to base or in between emitter and base we need to draw the direction. So the direction is away from P to N. So clearly you can see here this is the P and this is the N. From P to N you are writing the arrow. So this is the NPN transistor. So this is NPN transistor and this will be PNP transistor. This will be PNP transistor. Now we will understand the functioning of NPN transistor. So after that we will take its character. NPN transistor working. So first we understand how a transistor will work and later we will think of their characteristics and we will study their respective current gain and amplitude. Suppose I am taking this is a transistor. In the transistor, so we are taking emitter and the base and as well as collector. So we will see we are giving more area for the collector because it has to collect the charge carriers. So we have less area for the base. Just the base will act as the bridge between emitter and collector, and we are taking moderate area for emitter. Moderate area for emitter. And so when we think of this one, so you need to understand its characters also. So as it has to emit the charge carriers, so definitely it should be heavily doped. This emitter should be heavily doped, and the base is lightly doped. So it is lightly doped, and we are taking collector. So this is moderately doped, So emitter పని అది కదా emit చేయాలి charge carrier. So now we are taking NPN. Suppose we are taking this is N, this is P, and this is. So always in the proper functioning of a transistor, the input is always in forward bias. That is, N is connected to negative terminal, and base is connected to positive terminal. N is connected to negative. N negative means positive. P positive means, so here this is the P. P positive means this is forward bias. So therefore we are taking the input as forward bias. So this is called as input. So here we are taking this as the battery, let us say VBE. This is VB. And we are taking one more. This is the output. Output is connected in reverse bias. So therefore, P is connected to negative and N is connected to positive. So here we will call this as VCB, and this is in reverse bias. So let us understand the significance of the transistor. So when we will provide the negative charge carriers, suppose the electrons, majority charge carriers, electrons are repelled. So let us say some 100 electrons are started from N, and in the base region we have the holes as majority charge carriers. So then some electrons may enters, some electrons may enters into the hole and they get nullified. So therefore the recombination of electrons and holes will take place. Suppose I am taking that we lost 5 electrons here. So therefore, so the remaining 95 electrons are collected by the positive plate. So that means more number of electrons which are emitted from the emitter are collected by the collector. So again I am seeing, suppose if 100 electrons are conducting in the emitter, so they will constitute a current called as emitter current. And some electrons are wasted here, and that electrons actually, technically speaking, so those electrons are collected by the base and pass through like this. They pass through like this. So therefore, they will constitute some base current. They will constitute some base current. And the remaining electron, they are swept by the collector. So therefore, we are having the collector current in this case. So that means the current will be split. The current will be split. So therefore, we have a popular relation here, IE equivalent to IB plus IC. So IE is nothing but emitter current we will take, emitter current, and IB is nothing but base current, and IC is nothing but collector current, collector current. So when one electron, as the electrons are swept by the positive plate, all these electrons, all these electrons, all these electrons, they used to travel in this direction, in the outer part of the circuit. So when one electron reaches the positive plate, automatically to balance the charge, one electron will be released from the forward bias. So in this way, the electrons will reach. They will form a cycle. So they will form a cycle. In this way, we will understand about the functioning of the NPN transistor. So actually, after taking the functioning, so we used to think of its characteristics curves. So that means in input how it will act and in output how it will act. So very briefly we will take that because it has no importance, it has no greater importance. So therefore transistor transistor characteristics. Transistor characteristics we are taking. So when we think of input characteristics, so just the input characteristics are very similar to that of pre-emission diode. So here we will now plot the graph between input voltage and input current. So we know that the input current is suppose we will take for IB as the input current, and we will say VB. So we are taking VB as the output voltage. Generally, we used to have a graph like this. And when we think of output characteristics, so automatically we are having some regions. So this is called as output characteristics. So it is plotted between output voltage and as well as output current. Output current. Okay. So this is the input and output characteristics, and we need to learn only one or two words from here. So this is called as active region. So where the transistor works properly. Here we will say this is the cutoff region. So in the cutoff region we have no current, and this is called as uh, this is saturation region. This is known as saturation region. This is known as saturation region. So now, so the upcoming things are very important. So that is different types of configuration, and now we are going to learn them very easily. So that is types of configurations. Types of configuration of transistors. So it is very easy to understand in the following way. Suppose I'm taking, generally we are having three terminals here. Suppose when we think of a transistor, this is emitter, the middle one is base, and the last one is collector. So we have some terminals. Suppose roughly I will explain here. The base is common to both input and as well as output. Suppose if you are able to connect a battery here, simply we will call it as input. And if you are able to connect a battery here, simply we used to call this as output. So in that way, we are going to see the different types of configuration. So this is very easy to understand. So now I'm simply representing the transistor like this: emitter, base, and collector. Just with the D shape, we are going to see the entire system. Suppose if we are taking common emitter configuration. So this is most famous common emitter configuration. So this is the most famous configuration of the any transistor PNP or NPN. So simply we will understand that the emitter is common to both input and output. So this is emitter is common. So both input means LHS and RHS. And you need to keep one thing in mind, that always the output is collector. Always the output is collector. So therefore the input is base. This is common emitter configuration. So that means by using B and E, you are going to connect input part of the system, and by taking emitter and collector, we are going to see output part. So here we are going to see output part. So you have to remember and you have to understand that. So the input voltage we used to call as input voltage. Input voltage. ఇక్కడ ఏది కామన్ అనుకుంటే అది మధ్యలో రాసుకోండి. ఇన్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ అంటే డికి మధ్యలో ఇచ్చేది కాబట్టి వివి అని రాసుకోండి. సో ఇప్పుడు కామన్ ఎమిటర్ లో బేస్ అనేటువంటిది ఇన్పుట్. అక్కడి నుంచి మనం స్టార్ట్ అయ్యాం. సో ఇన్పుట్ కరెంట్ ఈజ్ ఐబి. అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ థింక్ ఆఫ్ అవుట్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్, సో అవుట్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ ఈజ్ మెజర్డ్ బిట్వీన్ సి అండ్ ఈ. So therefore we will write ECE. And when we think of output current, so that will be IC. So that will be IC. So similarly, we will do for common base if we are interested. Common base also, we will do the same procedure. So that means we will write the base as common. So this is the base as common, both for input and as well as output. So in between emitter and base, so we are taking, this is the input, and in between the base and collector, we are taking output. So here You should be very careful in understanding the thing. So here the input is emitter. So therefore, I'm taking input current. Input current is nothing but IE, and input voltage. Input voltage is nothing but VEB. So when we think of output, as we discussed right now, always the output current is IC only, and output voltage. So we are seeing across VBC. Now we will see how the transistor will act as amplifier and how we are having amplification formulas related. Suppose I'm taking transistor acts as an amplifier. Transistor acts as amplifier. So we are going to construct a transistor which acts as amplifier. So let us briefly discuss. The situation. Transistor acts as an amplifier. So actually, so we are taking this is a PN junction diode. This is a PN junction diode. So it is in first we are taking CE configuration. In a common emitter configuration we are taking. So in CE configuration we are taking. Common emitter means emitter is common to both input and output. So that means in between emitter and base we are going to connect a battery. A battery. So let us take this is the so this is VBB. So that means this is called as input battery. Input battery. I'm taking the simplest form of the picture here. So here this is the collector, and of course we are having some resistor. To make the situation simpler, we are skipping some resistor. No issues with that. This is VCC, and this will be the simplest part of the circuit. So here you need to understand between input and output parameter. So here we have the base current. Here we have the base current. So here we have the base current, and in this way we have emitter current, and in this way we have collector current. So in this way we have emitter current. So anyways, we are taking this is NPN transistor. NPN transistor. First, you need to understand the parameters very easily. So first, I am taking input resistance. Input resistance. In order to understand, in order to understand all of these, you need to be very clear about the parameters. What is the input parameters and what is the output parameters? I'm taking this is RA. RA equivalent to V equivalent IR formula we are obeying. So the input is measured. So you need to understand this very clearly. So we are going to study the input here. So input between base and observer we are going to see. So therefore input voltage is nothing but VBE or change in VBE we are taking, and input current is delta IB. So V by I, generally we are taking V by I or delta V by delta I we are taking. Delta VB means change in input voltage by changing input current. So this is for common emitter for CE we are taking. And as well as, so this is about RA, and we know that the output resistance is nothing but, we will see so later. So here the most important thing is current amplification. Current amplification we are taking. Current amplification means simply we used to have some symbols. So like this, beta, beta equivalent to, always amplification means output by input. So we know the output current here, that is delta IC by input current is delta IB. So it is very clear. So this is output current and this is the input current. This is the output current and this is the input current. So next, after this, we will take voltage amplification. Voltage amplification. So we used to call that as VO. So that is output voltage by input voltage. So output voltage means output current into output resistance, and input current into input resistance we are taking. But from the situation, we know that delta IC by delta IB is beta. So beta into RL by RL. So this is a famous equation for the voltage amplification. So this is a very popular equation for the voltage amplification. So AV equivalent to beta into RL by RL. So similarly, next we need to take care of power amplification. Power amplification. So power amplification is nothing but AP we are taking. So that is output power by input power. Power output by input power. So that is output voltage into output current and input voltage into input current. So finally, it is going to be beta square into RL by RL. So generally, the beta has a value ranges from 20 to 500. So clearly, it is visible to us that the output is more, the amplification is more. So because we are increasing the signal from 20 to 500 times. So that's why always C configuration is best. C configuration is preferable because of its more amplification nature. Always C configuration is preferable. And we can remember the formulas without confusion. Just in 2 seconds or 3 seconds, we will easily understand. So just I am taking common emitter. Emitter should, we have to write emitter at the junction. So this is the base and this is the C. So simply this is the input and as well as this is the output. So whenever we ask for beta, output current by input current. Output means delta IC by delta IB. B. Like is equal to. And here one more, the last most important point is the phase difference. The phase difference between input and output. So clearly we will see that this is clearly we will see that already we have IE is equivalent to IB plus IC. But here the input is IB and the output is IC. So here you can see if IB is increased, automatically IC will decreases. So in the previous example, we are taking with 100 electrons, 5 and as well as 95. Suppose imagine that if more electrons are recombining, so that means if value increases, the 5 value increases as 10. So let us take in the another equation 10. So you are going to get this as 90. So that means when IB increases, IC decreases. So obviously in CE configuration, we have out of phase. The phase difference is input and output. The phase difference between input and output is 5 radians. So simply we will call it as out of phase. Out of phase. So now we will understand the remaining things very easily and very conveniently we will write. So next I am taking common base. common base configuration I will write. So simply, very simply, you can understand. You need to draw the symbol base at the junction. So output is collector. Always you need to remember, and this is the emitter. So clearly, we will write the input current. Input current is nothing but a change in IE. And what is the output current? What is this output current? Output current is nothing but delta IC. Output by input means current amplification. Current amplification. Current amplification. So we used to call a symbol alpha. Always the output by input. Delta IC by delta IE. Next we are taking voltage amplification. Voltage amplification. So voltage amplification means AV. So that is V output by V input. So V output means by taking these values, we are going to get alpha into RL by RL. And we will take power amplification. Power amplification. So that is AP equivalent to output power by input power. So that is alpha square into RL by RL. Now, the most important part of the transistor. So because we can remember all these formulas very easily, uh, of course, we have a relation between beta and alpha. We can write beta equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha. We may use that, or alpha equivalent to beta by 1 plus beta also we may use. But the students should be very careful in understanding uh, the upcoming equations. So those are very famous, and these are the some kind of toughest part of the transistor. So that is now the transistor acts as switch. So how the transistor acts as switch? Okay. So for this, I'm taking the required diagram actually. So you need to be very careful in understanding the diagram. So because there is a need to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law here to understand some part. Suppose I am taking this is a transistor. So here I am taking emitter and this is base and this is collector. P to N we are having. So therefore this will be, so always we know that this arrow represents P to N. This is N, this is P and this is N. So therefore this is an NPN transistor. Okay, this is connected to some base resistance RB we are taking, and the current passing through this is IB, and it is connected to VBB. So the input battery we are specifying here VBB, and this is IE. In this way we are having IB. So this is IC is passing through RC, the load resistance, and we have VCC. So you need to understand this diagram very carefully because this is very very important. And across the this we will calculate the input, or we will give the input signal to the circuit, and across this we will give output. Across this we will give output. Now he will Here we will apply Kirchhoff voltage law for input. Kirchhoff voltage law for input. Suppose I am moving right from here. I'm moving right from here. So in my direction we have negative terminal. According to our convention, we have this is plus. మనం వెళ్ళే దారిలో బ్యాటరీ నెగిటివ్ టెర్మినల్ అంటే ప్లస్ తీసుకుంటాం. Suppose if I am moving in this direction, so VBB. So we are moving in this direction only. So we have the potential drop. So therefore minus IBRB minus IBRB. Or instead of VBB, we can take also V input, no issue, IBRB. So, but here we are moving, so IBRB, and at the end we have a potential drop between base and emitter. So therefore, I'm taking minus VBE equal to 0. Suppose we are starting from here, so we are moving in this way, battery negative plate, so plus and minus. So that's why we are writing plus V input, and we are moving in this way. We are moving in the same direction as that of current. Therefore, we have lost minus IR, general convection, minus IBRB. So the remaining voltage will be wasted across base and emitter. So that's why I'm taking VBE. So therefore, V input equivalent to IBRB plus VBE. Or else you can write it as no issues. VBB is equivalent to IBRB plus VBE. No problem. So, but this is very, very, very famous and very, very important. So this is VBB. This is VBB. So the next one we are taking, we are applying the Kirchhoff law for output. Output we are applying. Suppose if we move in the opposite direction, we will take a negative terminal VCC minus. We have the flow in the cross current in the same direction only, minus ICRC. So here we have IC minus ICRC, and the remaining. Suppose if you are moving in this way, we have the remaining at the output. So therefore minus VO equal to 0. So therefore VO equivalent to VCC minus ICRC. So this is very, very precious equations. These are very, very important, and these are not easily understandable in your book. So now we will think of the amplifier with feedback and without feedback. Amplifier. Amplifier with feedback. So let us discuss it for a while. For example,